Hello, guys.
Hi guys.
How are you doing? One Manchester, great to be with you tonight. My name is Paddy. This is James. We are from Donkeystone, of course, and we're going to be talking you through your beers, having a taste along with you, and having a bit of a laugh. As you can see, we're both rosy-cheeked. We've filled ourselves with a bit of pizza. A lot of running around today in the sunshine.
Delivering beer for people.
Delivering beer for people because the sun's out and people have all of a sudden gone, oh, I need Donkeystone beer. So we've been dealing with that today. But it's great to be here, and we're going to be enjoying some of our finest beers in the range, I think.
We certainly are, yeah. Do you want to lead us through a little bit of housekeeping first about how people can interact and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. When we do this kind of thing, we often broadcast to a number of different social media channels. But as it stands this evening, we are just going to be presenting it on YouTube. Now, if you are a user of Google or YouTube, it's pretty straightforward. You need to have a login. But once you do have a login, you can comment on the channel and we can interact with it. Now, going over to the comments here, I can see that we already have a couple of comments in. So Ian Corrigan, hello.
Hi Ian,
sir.
How are we doing?
Thanks for joining us. Joe Smith.
Hi.
Oh, hello to you as well.
Nice. Hi Joe.
Excellent. Joe Crago, we've got two Joes tonight. Hello to you. And also to Andrew Cody. Hi there. How are you doing?
Hi guys.
Excellent. I hope you've all chilled your beers and you're ready for a bit of a tasting session.
Yeah, in terms of the comments, guys, obviously what we're really keen to do is answer any questions that you may have about the beers. There's no stupid questions. So yeah, let's just have a quick run through of what we've got in the pack tonight.
Just quickly say hello to Andy K as well.
All right, Andy, how you doing, mate?
Cheers, mate. Shades.
We've got 6 beers to taste tonight. Joe's saying there's some latecomers. That's fine.
That's all good.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
We're just going to be killing time until they get here.
That's not a problem. I'll have a quick run through of the beers that we've got. Now we're going to split them up into 2 sections. We're going to start off with the more light, sessionable kind of beers that we've got. So we're going to have DPA, which is our flagship pale ale to start. We're going to hit up the Donkeystone Lost Days Pilsner, which is our Czech-inspired Pilsner beer. And then we're going to have a quite different style, which is our Kato Raspberry and Lychee Sour. So 3 very contrasting styles to start with. We're then going to have a bit of a part 1 of our brewery tour, where Thomas, our brewer, is going to basically show how the process of craft beer making takes place at the brewery. We're going to go through all the different elements that we use in the brewing process. And he's going to talk you through how we do it at the brewery. We're then going to do the second part of the tasting, where we're going to try one of our new dippers, which is a double IPA, and it's called Equinox. Mm-hmm. We're then going to have the strongest beer of the night, and the second part of the tasting are the stronger beers, Paddy. So you better keep your head on swivel.
That's my favourite part of the show.
So we're going to have the 11% Tarippa at that point. And then we're going to move into our last beer, which is our Jar Vanilla, which is a coffee and vanilla stout. So we're moving through really styles in terms of light, lager, sour, double IPA, triple IPA, then stout. So there's a logic to how we're going to take you through the journey on the tasting tonight. What we are also going to do, so if you keep your wits about you, we're going to ask a bit of a question at the end. So if you're all paying attention, you can be with a chance to win a lovely Donkeystone t-shirt. Probably not this colour, but so it'll be a case of fastest finger first, and whoever answers the question correctly first will win.
I really want to see those fingers. If you remember
that. Yeah. So basically, yeah. If we answer a question at the end, the first person to answer correctly will win a t-shirt, and we'll ping that out to you in the post. I wonder if we've got any more latecomers heading in.
Possible. Well, it looks like a couple more have actually just arrived.
Yeah.
Nothing more on the comments at present, but the numbers of viewers have certainly gone up. So I think
I guess we just crack on.
Some of the other latecomers have been joining us.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, we can certainly give you another 30-minute break and let you know where and how to engage with our Donkeystone ordering service, if you like. Let's take a quick look at that. And there you go, just a heads up, guys. Obviously, you've purchased some beer from us already, which we're very grateful for. Thank you for that. But if you decided after tonight you become fans of Donkeystone, we recommend that you download the iOS app or the Android app, which is easy to find. Just search Donkeystone on your phone. You can download an app which gives you access to a fabulous point system where you can use that to get money off beer, basically.
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? It kind of like rewards you for being a repeat customer, so it works really well like that.
Rewarding you for beer, which is a great thing. Yeah, we've got one of our latecomers, I think, has joined us. Bree Adsaid, how are you doing, mate?
Hi, Bree.
Welcome to the show. And yeah, so I think we're going to dip into our first beer.
First beer, crack on.
Let's do it.
Okay, folks, first beer. Hopefully, as Paddy alluded to, they are nice, chilled down, been in the fridge all night, and ready to go. Our first beer of the evening, Donkey Pale Ale, DPA. I think it's the first beer we ever brewed at the brewery. It's kind of like our Punk IPA or our Neck Oil, our classic pale ale that's got those lovely citrusy, piney flavours. It's hopped with Chinook, Centennial, and Cascade. So 3 American hops that give it a really fruity, distinctive citrus taste. Now, hops are a little bit like grapes. Wherever they're grown in the world and whatever environment they're grown in, that affects the flavour. So, like grapes, hops grown in hot countries contain a lot more kind of juicy, fruity flavours. British hops can be quite herbal and floral and lighter in flavour and more bitter. So, again, it depends. Some of the beers that we have are New Zealand hopped, and they're particularly tropical flavoured. And we're going to try some of those beers a little bit later on. So let's crack this first beer. And let's get going. Okay. So your beer should be having. Going to pass me a glass, Paddy.
Yes.
A lovely fluffy head, which we like. Very small bubbles. We carbonate this beer to a fairly high standard because a lot of the flavour and aroma comes through that foam. And if you get your nose over the glass, you should be getting like a almost sherry sweetness.
Yeah.
There'll be some like rich orange peel, citrus kind of flavours. And it's almost like got a sherbety quality.
Yeah.
Little biscuity. It's like and that's the malt that you can smell there.
Yeah.
The biscuity malt is it's got a fairly robust malt backbone, this beer, so it's well balanced against the hoppiness. Mm-hmm. Let's tuck in and give it a try. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. So
very refreshing on a summer's day.
Absolutely. So I think it seems like so many of our beers feel like designed to be drank at a barbecue. But
yes,
this one especially, 4.7% strength. You know, it's got a really robust, fresh, hoppy flavour. Robust.
That was a Sean Connery.
A bit Sean then. Yeah, it's got a really robust, hoppy flavour. That, like I say, you know, you get in some of those lively citrus fruits and bitter orange peel flavours.
Yes. Let's jump over to the comments here. Steve Welburn, hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, Steve.
That's your car, it's very nice. Andrew, cheers.
Cheers, Andrew.
Joe Smith, cheers, everyone.
Cheers to everyone out there.
Cheers. Joe Craig, it's delicious. Thank you very much, that's good to hear.
Thanks, Joe.
Andy say that's nice and lively, cheers.
Certainly is.
Bruce saying cheers, love this one.
Steve.
Can't lie, I had this last night.
Had his hands in the cookie jar, did he?
He did. Jump the gun there.
Crushable.
Love that phrase.
You know, that's one of our favourite beer terms when people say it's crushable. I love people like using like kind of fun vernaculars for beer, like juicy boy, crispy boy, crushable cans.
Crushable. Nice
we
one,
love all that
Carolina.
stuff.
I like that.
Keep it coming, Carolina.
Yeah, that's very cool. Okay.
So obviously let us know if you're picking up any different flavours within the hops that we're not picking up on. I think beer is a little bit like that, where ultimately, you know, the drinking's with the beholder. So you can get out of it something that others might not with your palate.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of my favourites. You know, it's a classic for us, and we've been brewing it for so long that I think that you know, sometimes you can forget about it with all our new beer releases.
It's true, actually. Plus, I really liked it on the on tap as well. We used to have it in the tap room.
Yeah,
great sessionable, tasty, fresh. It's good stuff. Over to Ian on the comments. Very good beer, gents. Great start.
Cheers,
excellent. Ian. He chose the audio. He's great. He's great with this kind of stuff. Steve, just telling him off for drinking his beer
too early. So this beer,
hi Steve.
Hi Steve. I find that it sells quite well. We have a number of restaurants that tend to buy this beer from us.
Yeah, that's true.
One of the restaurants, which I think it goes particularly well at, is Catch in Holmfirth, if anyone's been.
Oh yeah.
And I think similar to how you would like, you know, squeeze a bit of lemon over some fish, just to cut through that oiliness, the beer essentially is doing that same thing because it's so citrusy. The beer is cutting through some of those flavours that you get with seafood, and quite rich fishy flavours. So
yes.
the quite dry, hoppy beer goes really well with that, which is quite interesting. And I think moving forward,
it's a great restaurant too.
A lot of people are thinking about pairing beers with food, just like you would pair a wine with food.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's an interesting kind of development, really, in the last few months. Again, let us know in the comments what you're thinking.
That's one of the positives as well about some of the other beers that we do being vegan, is that we're actually finding that there are some vegan restaurants pairing our beers up with their food as well. So it's a good way to go. And you know that you've even got the choices of putting some of the ales into cooking as well and doing it that way.
Certainly do, yeah. This one actually isn't one of our vegan beers, in case anyone was wondering. We have a couple of vegan beers later on.
Yes.
But just it's a valid point you've made. Very valid.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Bree was back on to say tasty, great summer beer. Absolutely. See, it's great, isn't it? The sun's shining outside.
Yeah,
you know,
we're a bit sunburned.
We've both got a bit of kind of British man sometime. So Andrew's on, yeah, definitely summer beer. Can imagine it with fish and chips.
Yes, that is it. Perfect. Stodgy food.
I was thinking around anything more interesting.
No, I think you're right there, Andrew.
Can't be a bit of fish and chips.
No, definitely. So another little interesting fact about this beer. For our 250th brew, which was kind of November or I think it was maybe October or November last year, we released a special edition version of DPA called DPA 250 to celebrate that landmark and that milestone, which was a totally unfined beer.
That was a vegan beer.
That was a vegan beer, yeah.
A vegan version of DPA.
Yeah. So and it sometimes just packs that a little bit more hoppy flavour in there, doesn't it? And they're a little bit more juicy because you're not filtering out any of that flavour.
It's very piney vibe to it as well, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And indeed, I think there's still a few cans left at a couple of our suppliers, actually.
Yeah.
If you find yourself, and we recommend you go there anyway, if you find yourself at Bargain Booze in Davenport, He has a very, very fine selection of craft beer.
It certainly does.
But I'm pretty sure I saw a few cans left of DPA 250 in his fridge. So if you find yourself in that area, dive in and grab some.
We've got a really interesting question from Carolina.
Yeah. How do you get vegan beer so well clarified? Irish moss filtration.
Well, to be honest, Carolina, I'm not a brewer, and I don't know if we use findings in our vegan beers. We tend to leave our vegan beers. Yeah, we tend to leave our vegan beers cloudy. But what I could probably do is find out and let you know what brews do. If we leave a beer vegan, we tend to just basically have it as nature intended, cloudy, and completely murky, which we find allows the beer to just kind of maximise on all that flavour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I say, with this one, with it being fined, perfectly crystal clear, as you can see, we'll use isinglass findings, which the reason it's not vegan is because it's derived from fish. So it's part of the fish that will the fish that will allow all the protein from the beer to drop to the bottom of the tank and leave the beer perfectly clear. So yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Excellent, fantastic. So if we can just potentially move on to the next beer, if there's been no further questions. Oh, there's a question from Andy.
Ah, cool. Steve Wellburn is always in bag and booze in Devonport. Cool. You can go in and grab some then, mate.
Excellent.
Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of that, to be honest.
It's okay. I'll sort it in a minute.
Okay.
Another question from Andy. Andrew Cody. What's generally in bit vegan? So it's just what I was talking about, Andrew. Those isinglass findings that we get from fish. It's like a paste, and when you spoon it into the beer, basically it attracts all of the proteins in the beer, and it pulls everything to the bottom of the beer. If you've ever drank cask beer, for instance, that's the reason that a cask is always kind of set up on a rack overnight and left to settle. All of the sediment that gathers will all sink to the bottom. You tap the barrel, and all the beer above that is perfectly crystal clear. So yeah, that's it. There it is. Fantastic.
Lovely.
Good stuff.
So,
hopefully you've all enjoyed that, the first beer.
have you finished a full can? Oh, hang on. Just over to the comments here, Andy. It's Steve, yeah. Just because I live in Stockport. Well, it's the perfect beer shop for you.
You've got a very good spot.
Devonport Bag and Booze. We'd also recommend the Milliner.
Yeah, it's one of our favourite new bars, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go and see Eddie at the Milliner.
He's a great guy. He will be pouring some Donkeystone, I believe, next month.
Love a little craft bar.
Look out for that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Excellent. Nice one. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed that. I don't know if you've sank it all. Now listen, we are going to cycle through those beers because unusually tonight, James and I are kind of sharing the beers. Normally we'd have one each, and we'd probably be quite merry at the end. But we have to behave ourselves a little bit tonight.
We do a little bit. My wife's pregnant and she doesn't want me snoring in bed tonight, so I think that's kind of fair enough.
Should we let you into a bit of a bit of the situation that he was in here?
Yeah, so I can't have 6 cans.
If he has too many beers, he tends to snore.
Yeah, sadly, it's the perk of the job. It's not like a wine tasting where we spit it out, but
no.
You also can't sink 6 cans. I mean, you guys can.
We never spit. No.
Yeah.
So let's finish this up and
move on to the next.
Probably move on to the next beer.
Steve's made a nice comment there. Someone's got to live there, lol. Hey, Stockport's a great place.
It is.
Yeah.
Right, wonderful. Okay. So are we going to move on to the next beer?
Let's move on to the next beer. Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Okay, super duper. So let me just make sure I empty this.
Finish your glass, Paddy. Finish your glass. I hope, please let us know if we're going too fast. We can always try and waffle on a little bit more about the beer. You know, it's kind of what we're good at, isn't it?
We'll try and waffle a bit slower.
Yeah. So the next beer that we're going to move on to is the Lost Days Pilsner.
Oh, yes.
Now, we were very excited about this beer. Basically, it's a Czech-inspired Pilsner. Fun fact about the name of the beer, that basically we brew our beer between Christmas and New Year every year. And essentially, it's one of the days of the year that you know what day it is. We turn to each other on the sofa. We've lost count of what day it is. We don't know. We don't know what time it is. Yeah. Is it Tuesday? Is it Monday? No one knows. So it's exactly, yeah. It's one of the lost days. So we brewed it for the first time Christmas, and was so popular that we've immediately brewed it again. So these beers, a Pilsner, they take a long time to ferment. I think that's down to the way that they ferment and the hop profile and the malt and the way that the beer is made up just means that it takes much longer than, say, a pale.
Was a lovely little fact about the storing of beer.
Yeah, so the word lager, the word store, just store your beer. So to lager your beer, to store it.
Yeah, so it's like one of the longest processes that we have on the range. So, it sits in for a good 4 weeks, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Processing and comes into the can. So these, this is actually a brand new batch. So these came off at fresh about the beginning of the week, wasn't it?
Well, no, it was on Tuesday, and the reason you guys did your deliveries until Wednesday was because we were looking for this beer to come line so we could get it. And this is as fresh as you're going to get. It is absolutely fresh off the line. It's a really crisp little number. So let's crack this.
Oh, yeah. It's not our first one to get here, to be honest.
It's not. No, we're on the end of the day, aren't
we? We did. It's been a busy day.
But
it's a surprisingly busy day.
So, like similar to the last one, we like to have this beer, lovely, fluffy head. So, bubbles again should be nice, compact, and quite creamy. Again, totally crystal clear. You can see there, it's all glass-like.
In case you're wondering as well, these glasses with the
Donkeystone
logo on are available from an Apple web shop if you decided you wanted to get one.
Delicious. So the scent of the nose, you know, you're getting that lagery smell, that reminiscence from a Pilsner or a lager.
It's very crisp, clean.
It is. They don't get a huge aroma, these lagers. I think that's part of the process. A lot of the flavour is bitterness, but it's balanced against that sweet biscuitiness.
It kind of comes down to, I say often, because I'm not able to describe the nose and take things. Occasionally I do pick things up and it just hit me immediately. But in general, I just smell it and go, yeah, it smells like beer. So it does smell like beer to me. But so for me, now not mention any factory made mainline macro lagers. Like for me, when you smell those, you're getting kind of the same ones.
Yeah.
But get the chemicals.
Yes.
Straight away. Which fortunately with the processes that we use, there's none involved. I mean, all you have to do is look on the side of it for a huge list of ingredients.
Yeah.
Which is malted barley, hops, wheat, and yeast.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And interesting to got the hops because we hop this with Tsar and Polaris, which two what we say are like more lagering hops, traditional Czech hops.
Polaris sounds quite science fiction to me.
It does, yeah.
It's bonus.
It certainly is. So yeah, I think again, 5.2, it's verging on you would class at the higher end session beer, but I guarantee because it's a heavy session, but it's a session nonetheless.
Yeah.
I can see, an afternoon spent in the cab, one of these, perfect accompaniment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Really, really nice.
We should be able to whip over to the comments here. We're just doing a little bit of something else in the back end, but I don't think that should affect it. Here we are.
Andy K. Oh,
losing the feed. Anyone else getting that?
Oh, sorry about that, guys.
Oh, okay. Hang on, sorry. So what was the first comment? Yes. I think this is going to be the fastest I've ever been drunk.
Sorry about that, Joe. I apologise.
Sorry about that, Joe. If you are losing a bit of speed from us, if there's a bit of jitteriness, we do apologise for that. We're just uploading something into the back end of the program, so if that's affecting it, it may be a kind of a downloads issue just for a few seconds. So Norman Collier, I'm old enough to remember Norman Collier as well. So hopefully that's going to improve for you. Fever's staggered a bit. I'd like to be doing in an hour. Yes, you will be staggering.
You're likely to be staggering around. Yeah.
I like Pilsners though. Looking forward to this one. Nice one, Andy.
Cheers, Andy.
Nice and crisp, quite a strong taste. Yeah, it's perfect, really. Our feed seems to be a bit dodgy. Sorry, this is going to improve in a couple of minutes. This one would go down well with a nice spicy curry.
Got to agree with you, Ian. It definitely
Absolutely.
would. Yeah.
I knew Lost Days would be a good one from the smell of it. Really nice. Excellent. Nice one, Andy.
Brilliant.
Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. Excellent. There we go. It looks like it's sorted itself out anyway.
That is good.
I wonder if it was an internet problem at the other end, perhaps. Mine's okay now. I've disconnected and come back in. Maybe that's what it was.
Hopefully
it was a issue on the other side. Think a beer order will be going in this week, guys.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Excellent.
That's what we like to help. What we like to hear. Can't smell much, but the taste is great.
No, yeah, definitely. It's a subtle aroma.
There's not much there on the lager. Yeah.
No.
You seem to be okay now.
Good news.
Feed is a lot better. Excellent. Okay, good.
Sorry, so if you missed any of my tasting notes, I think you're looking at, kind of bit of a residual bitterness. You're looking at really biscuity sweetness alongside some of the really familiar Pilsner flavours that you would be familiar with.
What does that mean? I'm not sure. Okay. Carla, if you just explain to us slightly what that means. Did that mean you disconnected, or is that something else referring to? I'm not entirely too sure. It may be a typo. Just come back to us on that one.
But yeah, I mean, there are some subtle fruity flavours that you get in a Pilsner. There's a certain sharpness there, and definitely you're getting some of those really biscuity flavours.
You get a bit of that orangey.
Yeah.
A little bit, just on the back end.
Yeah.
And it's the carb for me with the lager. It's the carb bit on the tongue that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Which is good.
It definitely helps if you're in a glass with a activator on the bottom that you get in the pub. We're using these 2/3 glasses which don't have activators. So as you can see, our head is kind of completely gone. There's just like a little bit of foam on top, but that's fine. Doesn't affect the taste of the beer at all.
Okay, here we go. Will you be tasting notes on the crisps?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ready salted. There's a salty flavour, bit of potato. Yeah.
Bit of fried
oil.
Fried potato oil, monosodium glutamate. Did they put that in crisps?
I don't know.
No, we'd have to have a look.
That was a particular request from Joe. So
to have some crisps.
Because I think she was worried about you all getting too drunk. So at least we've got some sustenance.
Well, crisps are a perfect complement to beer. There are other things you can do.
Well,
we're kind of. You've spearheaded a little idea for us, haven't you?
Yeah. On our app, on our website, we're going to be bringing out a range of really nice charcuterie to pair with the beers.
Charcuterie, it's a good word too.
Yeah, so we've got some lovely salami, we've got some really nice jerky, and it's really, really nice stuff as well. So we'll be launching that pretty soon. So keep an eye out on our channels for the launch of our charcuterie beer tasting packs.
Yeah, pairing your snacks and beer.
So
good. Come on, sorry, never mind. Love it. Really clean. Okay.
So Carolina's probably like really like into beer and has asked us a question that I just don't know what the answer is. So I apologise.
Decocted was the word.
I'm
gonna Google that. After.
Okay. Yeah.
Andrew, thank you very much.
Thank
Andrew.
you.
Cheers. Lovely.
Hope you enjoyed that one. It's one of our recent favourites, and we've struggled to kind of keep it in stock. Really, it just seems to sell so quickly.
It was along with the next beer that is the next beer that we're tasting has been our quickest seller.
Yeah, it's just flown out, which is what we like to see. You know, the best way to enjoy beer is to enjoy fresh beer, and basically. You know, the sooner we get it out and people drink it, the better. Good stuff. We've got one more beer first before we move on to the first part of the brewery tour, where you'll see a little bit more about how we make the beer and what we do, and we'll introduce you to Tom. But
great.
Let's just finish this little bit off.
Yeah.
Again, if we're going too quick, please let us know.
Well, the beauty of this is, I mean, if we are going a little bit too quick, what you can do is, you know, depending what glass you're using, pour a little bit out, taste along with us. If we're then moving on, you can then come back to that can later on and go back through the tasting again at your own pace to your heart's content.
Absolutely.
So we're going to finish up this now because we've done half each. You see, we've not been big drinkers tonight, which is unusual for us.
We are chatting away though,
particularly if you can tell if you can't really see our waistlines from here. But
I've got a 6-pack. I don't know about you.
Mine's more like a 12, I think. Anyway, so yes, we're going to move along. I think with our next beer, you're going to introduce that.
Next beer,
okay, let's do that. Yeah, we thank John Entwistle for producing that
little sting,
those little baseline stingers for us. Very nice.
So next beer, if we're not rushing ahead too quickly, Cato Sour. As you can see, lovely panther on there.
Cato, you fool!
Yeah, exactly. So we're very sessionable at this point at 3.5%. It's kind of a bit of a big deal for us because the first sour beer that we've ever done as a brewery, which is a new style for us. And the current brewer, Thomas, has been really keen to really like push it on to more crafty based beers from what we started as a fairly traditional brewery, moving into more sort of challenging and interesting new beer styles. So this is the first sour we've ever done, and it's inspired us to do a bit of a range of Cato sours.
Yeah. The other thing is with it is that the trend, for some reason, in sours, if you check out other craft breweries, tends to be super strong. So you've got people like Vault City and Omnipollo producing these, you know, high-end sours that are like 10, 11%,
yeah.
super strong, and you know, very thick viscosity, and like Wizard produced beers.
Incredible beer.
However, like I identify, you do it in small. It's like you only want it in small doses because it's so intense.
Yeah, it can be quite rich.
It's like, you know, a couple of mouthfuls is like instant heartburn. So what we decided was we kind of wanted to sort of make it a session thing, which is not super trendy, is it?
No.
Not many people are doing it. So we feel like we kind of made the sour thing our own in a way, by making it a sour, but making it a session sour as well.
And as well, in terms of the sourness, we're going to crack it in a second. We wanted it to be kind of an entry-level sour.
Yeah.
A lot of our drinkers locally wouldn't necessarily have drank many sour beers.
No.
So we wanted something that's not going to put people off. It's going to be something that people can enjoy, and it's going to be a gateway into, you know, different styles of beer. So it's a gateway drug. It's a gateway sour.
We specialise in gateway beers.
So let's pull this one out. Obviously, it's a fruited beer, so you're going to see a lot of those kind of really lively pink flavours. That's actually what inspired the name Cato, because it's a pink beer. Cato, of course, from the Pink Panther.
Oh yes.
And I like the idea of using quite tart fruit, like a raspberry, which obviously fits with sour beer, but then balancing it with that really rich kind of lychee, which has got a more kind of cooling kind of flavour to it, and quite rich. Again, this beer is strongly carved. It's meant to be fizzy. It's meant to be lively. When you smell it, it smells like...
Get the raspberry straight away.
A proper
big hit on the raspberry.
Crushed punnet of raspberries that's at the bottom of your shopping bag. It's really fruity, really tasty. Okay, let's give it a swig. Oh yeah. So straight away, it hits you with that kind of tart sourness, but it's not too much, in my opinion.
So I get a hit. I get like the hit of the raspberry first, then carb burn with the bitter on the end of the tongue there.
Yeah.
But then that kind of fades away, and you're left with a kind of overall fresh, summery feel.
It is a palate cleanser. One of my mates who doesn't drink so much craft beer loves this beer because when he's going out with some of his pals who he plays football with, they'll be having a few cans after the match, and sometimes you get a little bit bloated and a little bit like I've had a lot of carby beer, and all of a sudden
got to make room for that kebab.
Yeah, something that just kind of cuts it. So he's calling it a sesh saver. So he can then move to the next gear and have another beer because he's had his palate cleansed, he's kind of rebooted, and he's ready to go.
So keep your eyes open for our next batch because
well, it's exciting. Yeah, we've got some really nice ideas for the next Cato Sours, haven't we?
I think you guys have taken the last lot.
We literally had to take this off the website and the app after you guys got your packs. It will be coming back. It's been a resounding success.
But once again, Bargain Booze in Devonport, I've got some cans.
Yeah, you can get them around. So if you see us in the shops and you want to pick one up, that will be a pretty rare one.
Check out our stockists. Yeah. Also, if you find yourselves in Ashton, go local in Ashton. I've got it. And all over the shops. So let's go back to comments. Do you need any tasters when you're trying out these new beers?
Always, Steve. Yeah. Are you putting your CV forward?
Absolutely. Where does the Pink Panther live?
I've got no idea, Steve. Where does he live? Do you know, Paddy?
Dum dum
Durham.
Dum.
Very good. Very good.
Excellent, Steve.
We'll do the jokes, mate.
We've not done enough, so at least he jumped in.
Yeah, he's saving us.
Andy, that's a no beer for you. Glad you don't live in Stockport with these jokes. Wow. Hands down the best sour I've tasted. Delicious.
Cheers, Bree. That means a lot.
Cheers, Bree. Can you immediately go to our website and leave that as a review on the beer itself? Yeah,
you know what, guys? If you do want to kind of interact with us on social media, drop us a nice comment. We love getting nice comments about the beers. So that would be fantastic if you do feel inclined to do so.
So you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn,
MySpace, Bebo. No, we're not on that. We're not on those.
Sitting on MySpace. Yes. So, Georgia, I'll put myself forward. Obviously, we've got two tasters there.
Yeah. Good. Boom. Steve. That was his joke, I think.
I think that was, boom. I normally like sours, but this works so well with the raspberry tartness.
Thank you very much. I think we agree with that.
I'm not a big fan of them either, but I really like this one.
Yeah, session sours are the way forward.
Yeah, raspberry and lychee is gorge. Thanks very much, Joe.
Yeah.
Don't think I would like the Cato, but it's. You didn't think you would like it?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Delicious.
It is delicious, and like going back to what we were talking about with the other two beers, these beers. I mean, we're a pretty seasonal brewery. We tend to create beer to be enjoyed at the time that we're experiencing in the moment.
Yeah.
And I think all three of these beers feel like a beer that you would enjoy at a barbecue, in the garden, whatever. Bit of sunshine, some friends, now that we can. in the sunshine. So
friends, have you got any friends?
Well, you're my mate. So yeah, I guess like I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying them, and I think they're very seasonal and relevant for right now.
Very rare that we made the transition from colleague to friend.
Really tasty.
I'm just smashing that straight down.
Yeah. So an interesting little fact about a sour beer.
Oh, that's a good point.
Just like ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh, you could make a nice reduction of it as like a syrup on ice cream, couldn't you?
It's very like the palate cleanser as well. What are they called?
Yeah, the little sorbets.
Yeah, it's got a big sorbet vibe, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely. The way that we make sour beer, so we'll make a wort, which is basically our brewing liquor, which is our water and grain in a mash tun. We allow the sparge to basically spray water all over our grain, and we're extracting the sugar.
Sparge, one of my favourite words.
From the grain, and the sugar in that mixture is what basically the yeast eats to make alcohol. So that's how you make beer in a nutshell. But what we're looking to do when we put this beer from the mash tun into the kettle, we're adding a live yogurt. And what that bacteria is doing is it's basically souring by eating those sugars.
Lactobacillus.
Correct. So just after we've enjoyed this beer, Tom, our brewer, is going to talk you through our brewing process. And I think he's brewing a pale ale, if I'm not mistaken. But
it's been a while.
Yeah, so each of the beers that we make have obviously got a different process, but this gives you kind of like a bit of an overview of how we do it. So, Paddy, if you want to
this is a brewery talk.
Enjoy, guys, and any questions, please let us know. And remember, pay attention because someone could win a T-shirt. There just might be a clue in this next clip.
Points mean prizes. Here we go.
Alright guys, welcome to Donkeystone Brewery. This is our brewing facility where we make all of our craft beer. Everything that you're drinking tonight, it will have been made in this room. This is Thomas, our head brewer at Donkeystone. Hello. Thomas is drinking one of our lovely Lost Days Pilsners, which I think it's in the pack.
Well, I think so,
Yeah, well, yeah. So hopefully you'll enjoy that a little bit later this evening. Tom's going to talk us through how we make the beer, the processes that we use, some of the ingredients, and a little bit about how we do what we do every day. Tom, if you want to talk us through?
Yes, so you caught me actually in the middle of the brew right now. So we start in the mash tun. The mash tun is basically where we add water at a certain temperature, depending on which brew that we do, with some malt, in this case malt, wheat, rolled oats, to get an extraction, which means the amount of sugar that we're getting that will turn into alcohol when we add the yeast. So if you come around here, you can see that's already mashed in. So this is all the grain that we've used today.
So how do you mash in, Tom?
So mashing I use here somewhere my
big paddle. I see it. So it's literally a case of
do a demonstration. Just a case of sticking this in with water and mixing it in like a big porridge.
And what's that doing?
So that is going to extract the proteins and the sugars that I need to add into the liquid, which we call wort, that goes into the kettle. Then that will add to our ABV at the end. So we need to get those sugars that yeast eats eventually.
And that's the byproduct of an alcohol, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, the yeast eats the sugar, turns it into alcohol for us.
Cool.
So what this does, it travels from here through a whirlpool. This collects any extra grain, grist, stuff like that we don't want going into the kettle. Then it goes all the way up into the kettle, and this is where we boil and we add hops. So we boil for an hour. We add hops to taste. The thing about hops is once you add a hop in and it's boiling, it isomerizes, so the alpha acids turn into iso acids. So that creates bitterness. So some beers we add that to later on in the boil, like 10 minutes towards the end. Some beers we don't add that into. We drop the temperature and then we'll add them afterwards to prevent it from making the beer too bitter. If you were to have the Lost Days right now that I'm drinking, we add that 5 minutes before the end of the boil, and then I do a flame out hop, which we just throw in right at the end. We turn the elements off and we put that in.
It's a really important stage, really, because like the bitterness is like vital for the taste of the beer, isn't it?
Yeah, depending on what beer you
like
do. So a Pilsner needs a little bit of bitterness in it. something like a New England IPA doesn't want any bitterness.
No,
so
much sweeter.
different styles, and then we change where we stop the fermentation with that in terms of how sweet we want the beer. So we want some sugar left over in, say, a New England IPA. With a lager, a Pilsner, you don't want any sweetness in there.
So the more sugar you get in the mash tun and into the kettle, is that dependent on how much alcohol ends up in the final product?
Yeah, and then we have to control where it ends.
Okay.
So we stop. Sometimes we'll stop fermentation sooner to make it sweeter, and then we'll make it run dry, and all the sugar goes.
Okay.
Where we are.
Hey,
There we go, and we're back.
hope you're all paying attention to that.
Yeah, there's going to be some questions afterwards.
Thomas is a complete font of knowledge when it comes to kind of brewing and the brewing system. So, you know, he's a pleasure to work with. He's so passionate about what we do and how we do it. And, you know, if Tom's watching, cheers, mate. Thank you for bringing us brilliant beer.
Good lad.
So we have got a second part.
Pretty decent drummer too, once upon a time.
He was, yeah. We're gonna show you the second part of that video while you finish off your Cato sours before we move on to our next set of beers.
Absolutely. And just
Okay.
as a tribute to Thomas, we're going to, because we did a different segment on another show, we're going to play that stinger instead, because for him, this is what it stands for.
Where we are.
So after the kettle, where do we go?
After the kettle, we go to the heat exchange. If you want to come round here with me into this corner. So this goes through here, which this catches any of the hops or matter that we've got that have been in the kettle, and then it goes through into a heat exchange. The heat exchange has cold water running through it, and then we have our hot wort, which is going to be turned into beer. These plates touch each other, so as they touch each other, they swap the heat. So then you'll have the cold liquor turns into hot water that goes back into here, and the beer we can control the temperature when we go into the
So
fermenter.
just regulating the temperature of the beer.
So it stops the beer from basically from being too hot.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think we've got a boil on right now. I'm just going to check that.
So
If you don't mind, Paddy.
No, so that's really interesting. We're really interested about this brew because what Tom is doing now is making sure that the beer is boiling out, so that anything that's in the beer that we don't want in there is killed off, right?
Absolutely. So you boil for two reasons. One reason would be to sterilise the beer. So you boil for an hour just for sterilisation, but that's also when we add the hops for flavours.
Yeah.
If you were doing like a sour,
Yeah.
which we don't have at the moment available, but we have done one, you'd then boil off and add your yogurt to make lactobacillus.
So that you're encouraging the bacteria to grow
Absolutely.
into the sourness.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Interesting. So the beer's gone from the kettle through the heat exchange. Where next?
Last port of call is the fermenter.
And how long do the beers take to ferment in these?
Depending on which beer you've got, so obviously higher end beers will take, like higher end is 11% beers that we're making right now. They take longer to ferment because the yeast has got to work harder with more sugar. So they take about 7 days, whereas something like
a light pale ale.
Black Pale Ale, 2 days, 2 to 3 days, the lager took a month.
Yeah, different process.
Because we lager it, so lagering actually means store. We store something in German, so we literally store that for a month.
Right. Interesting. And I guess like at this point we can add different dry hop kind of
Yes, so
things to add flavour.
that's after fermentation. So
Yeah.
fermentation happens when the yeast eats in layman's terms, the yeast eats the sugar to make alcohol. Then we crash that down so the yeast dies, completely gone. And then we add hops after that in cold, which is called dry hopping.
Yeah.
They will flavour, so you get the alpha acids instead of the iso acids.
And then you get into like really like different flavours that you get from kettle hops, and then more about aromas and
Aroma
different
and fruitiness rather
Yeah.
than where you get bitterness and maybe a little bit of fruitiness from kettle hops, but your dry hops is where you get the real sort of fruity alpha acid stuff. The resinous sort of stuff if you have enough.
So dry hop are space paranoids, right?
We do,
Yeah.
that's
So that's
dry hop.
another one from the beer pack that we're going to try a little bit later on.
Yeah.
And the Space Paranoids is a hazy beer.
Hazy
So
beer.
can you talk a little bit about how that differs from one of the clear beers?
Yes, so with the clear beers we had findings in the kettle, which is made out of seaweed, which break all the proteins down and makes it that we can clear our beer. And we add auxiliary findings in the fermenter again to make then the isomers findings that we add in that clear it like a net more attractive to the yeast cells. So basically, it just clears the beer. It works as a net, clears the beer. However, when we're making a vegan beer, like a hazy beer, we don't do any of that.
No.
In fact, we add something called spring blanc after fermentation, after a lot of crashing down, to make the beer more hazy, so it packs those proteins in and keeps them in the liquid.
It seems to carry quite a lot of flavour as well, those hazy beers. Right?
Yeah. So essentially, I prefer drinking hazy beers because if you're dropping all that flavour out, you're going to lose something. Whereas with the newer modern hazy beers, it keeps it in, so you're getting a bit more juiciness, a bit more. You taste the beer as it should taste, in my opinion.
Yeah, baby.
The peak of craft. So this is where craft ales are at right now in the UK. So basically, some of the beers that we make are totally crystal clear, which is a traditional way of brewing beer. So we have a very crystal clear, almost like a pint of lager that you may see at the pub. That's a mark of respect from brewers throughout the generations. And nowadays, it's almost like how hazy can you get your beer, how murky. So brewing is changing rapidly, and it's up to us to keep up with the trends and to brew beers that are informed by our past and definitely resonate in a current market of craft beer. So that's our challenge. We've got a few different beers for you to try tonight. A couple of hazy beers. We've got a pilsner, we've got a stout. So hopefully you've enjoyed the tour, and now we can move on to the tasting.
So I just have to get that boiled.
He's never stopping working at the moment, so we're just fitting this little content in between brews, don't we? So thanks for your time, mate.
Yeah, no worries. I hope you all enjoy the beers, dudes.
Thanks very much.
Cool.
Thank you, Thomas, and a slightly longer haired James there with a lockdown boot.
Yeah, we did actually record this video for another brewery tasting a tour that we did. So he actually references. I actually spoke about Space Paranoids being in the pack, but it's actually not in the pack. Because we've sold out. So we've got a different beer selection for you tonight.
We did intend to include it. However, Space Paranoids, I understand, will be returning in the next couple of weeks. So
very soon.
If you are placing an order with us, then you'll be able to try Space Paranoids, and you'll be able to see possibly a couple of familiar faces on the can too. So let's jump over to the comments. Steve, looks like you could do with bigger premises. One Manchester has a couple of offices we're not using at the moment. Well, thank you for that, Steve. It's very interesting that you should say that, actually, because we are currently organising our move from our current premises to premises that's 5 times the size, which is very exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We're in the process of moving as we speak. So some of the building works has taken place. The brew capacity will go up by, we'll be able to brew 4 times the amount of beer at one time than we can do at our current facility.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to, hopefully, planning permitting, having an awesome mezzanine tap room overlooking the brew house, and some exciting kind of food vendors built into the kind of building, so that we'll be able to enjoy a nice bit of grub while we have a few beers. And it's going to be really transformative for us, and very, very exciting. So again, please, like us on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, and keep up to date with what plans we've got, because we've definitely got some exciting things coming up.
Absolutely. So let's just go back to the comments. I think Joe was finding Steve's comment about us moving into the One Manchester office is quite amusing. Could use the glass shop. Oh, so there's a glass shop in there. Well, maybe you could produce our glassware as well. Is it that kind of glass shop, or is it windows that we're talking about? Lovell Pilsner, anyone? Is this a reference to one of your colleagues, perhaps? Quattro Pilsner.
I think that's a reference to the car.
I think that is a reference to the car. Yeah. You guys are
onto something here. Thank you, Joe.
Definitely Quattro Pilsner. It's almost like a dipper.
Ooh,
sort of Pilsner version. I like this. Do you know the Seven Brothers crew?
Never met them, but I believe they're lovely chaps, and they make belting beer. I love the tap room down in Ancoats, one of my favourite little spots in town.
Yeah, I've never actually met the dudes. At one point, I was supposed to be playing a gig in their tap room.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But for some reason, I don't know, it kind of went away. We were supposed to be doing a gig with Ian McNabb from the Icicle Works, but for some reason, it never happened. So I would like to get down to their tap room and check it out because I've not done that yet. But yeah, they do make great beer. In fact, we had a little taster of one of their beers at the Miller.
The Milliner, yeah.
We put a drop in a glass for us.
We just tried one of their recent beers, didn't we?
Yeah, it was an IPA. I forget which one it was, but yeah, very, very nice indeed. So, what do you think? Would you like to move along and taste another beer? I've got to be honest. I was enjoying the Cato that much that during the brewery tour, I went downstairs and
got another one.
Well,
now might be a good time to completely, rinse your glass out with a bit of water.
That's
because some of those sour flavours will very much.
Thanks very much, Steve. Enjoyed your podcast with Sweeney. Good lad.
Yeah, you can't shut him up, can you?
As my dad would say, you couldn't beat him down with a sledgehammer. Yeah, thanks very much. Well, it was actually with Sweeney that we were supposed to be playing that gig we're talking about.
Yeah, we had a good do. So we're doing a monthly podcast at the moment called The Social Sesh. We're going to do it with different guests every month, kind of beer personalities, as well as hopefully a couple of interesting local celebrities. And we're going to have lots of fun and interviews and some beer chat. So do join us for our social sessions. We're going to do the next one in May. Unconfirmed date, but again, keep your eye out on our social media.
Yeah, keep your eye out for this. Boom.
Yeah, similar format to what we're doing tonight. We tend to do like a monthly taster pack for our social sesh, which includes kind of new beers, stuff that perhaps you may not have tried in our range just yet. And it's a lot of fun. It's really good, isn't it?
Yes, really enjoy it. Yeah,
good stuff.
Nice to finally do it. Right, I'm just going to drop the rest of this.
Next beer, you neck that, Paddy. So what a treat for you guys. So this is our Equinox Dipper. It is it's unreleased as we stand. So this is again very, very fresh beer. Just what? Sorry,
we were supposed to release it today.
Well, we were going to release this today, but we decided to wait until next week, so you guys get the first exclusive peek at the Equinox Dipper. Again, Equinox, named after the spring equinox. It is a double.
After the Jean-Michel Jarre album, no?
It is a double IPA, which is essentially what we're talking about. The double IPA is kind of double the strength and luckily double the flavour.
Yeah.
So very, very interesting beer. This. So I'd be intrigued to know what your thoughts are on it.
Speaking personally, the dippers and the tippers are all the double dry hop stuff is kind of where my palate's at.
So very much where craft beer is at the moment. You're judged as a brewery by your double and triple IPAs. We've got a double IPA for you to try now, and we have a triple IPA next.
In the range.
Very, very different. So I'm just going to pour Paddy's bit out before I talk about the hops. Very interested in using kind of New World hops in this beer. Really excited to basically release this beer next week. So we chuck in this beer. And I don't know them off by heart because it's brand new. We chuck in it. Oh, don't tell me there's no hops on the back.
Is that right? Then I put it in.
No. So yeah, I'll have to find out for you. But basically,
let's see if I've got. You carry on. Let's see if I've got it in my
section.
Information bank here.
Let's talk about the carbonation first, because compared to the other two beers, you'll notice that it's a slightly creamier consistency, and that's because we use oats in the brew. So basically, it's much thicker. The mouthfeel and the way that the beer feels when it's on your tongue is far creamier, and that's very intentional because these dippers should be rich. They should be very kind of moorish, but also kind of fruity, and it's about balancing that fruit with the really, really, really tasty kind of hop profile that we include.
Yeah, he has actually. I forget which brewery it was we were talking about at some point where we were like they never put what hops they've got in it.
No, it might be a trade secret. Yeah.
I think this is a trade secret. This one. Tom's obviously keeping his cards close to his chest on this because normally we do put that on the cans, but I suspect as this is a limited edition, because this is kind of a one-off. This.
Yeah.
Once this is gone, it is gone. We're going to be, we'll do another dipper. We'll probably see the return of
the
Notorious Dipper, which is our Gold Award, our SIBA Gold Award winning dipper, which was a tremendous beer.
Give it a sniff, buddy.
Yeah,
wrap your nose around it. I always get refreshers, really kind of sweet, sherbety, fruity, bit of mango.
I was going to say mango.
Pineapple.
Mango's what I get.
Let's give it a test. Yeah, there's definitely a smokiness, and I think someone's commented as well.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, the flavour. Ooh. So
let's go over to the comments just quickly before you take the pot. It's delish, so full of flavour. Ooh, yes, Joe. Absolutely love this one. Great flavors from Joe Smith. We tasted smoked cheese. I like it.
Well, yeah, I was going to say there was definitely a smokiness, and one of the hops I do know one of the hops, El Dorado, contains that kind of smoky vibe to it that's quite funky, which again is quite unique, and it's difficult to balance. But I think we just about pull it off.
Not to be confused with the shockingly bad soap from BBC of the early 90s.
I'm definitely buying some. Fantastic. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it does definitely finish in a rich, creamy, tropical fruitiness that does definitely resonate with those kind of banana-y flavours.
Put your finger on it. Thanks, Bree.
It's definitely a unique beer. It's one we're really proud of and quite excited to bring out.
Yeah.
It's a lovely colour, really rich orange colour, and just full of different flavours. It's really challenging what beer is and can be. When you think there's just hops, malt, water.
So brilliant.
Yeah, it's a really, really interesting beer. I'm really pleased how it's turned out. We're really excited to release it, and you guys are privileged to try it ahead of the pack.
It will get you drunk quicker. At 8.5.
Exactly. So it's not what we call a sessionable beer.
Certainly not.
But it's a silent killer because obviously. It doesn't drink its ABV. It definitely feels like you're drinking something lower ABV with its kind of rich fruitiness, but it does pack a punch. So you've got to be careful.
Incredible fruity aroma, dank hoppy burn on the drink. Lovely.
Yeah.
You know your stuff, Caroline.
Yeah, no, it's got a really nice fruity aroma.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I think it's definitely one of my favourites of our recent releases.
Oh, absolutely.
Some of these beers, I think, you're drinking 1 or 2, maybe 3 cans on a weekend with watching a film or watching the football or whatever. I gravitate to dippers and tippers more often than not.
Me too. It's my go-to. I mean, like you say, sitting down watching something or, I try to, but when we're not doing tastings such as this on a Friday night, occasionally what we tend to do is a couple of us will get together and have Friday beers. So basically what we do is and this kind of gives you a window into the craft community, and certainly from our point of view, I can't speak for every brewery, but we like and appreciate the whole craft community, and we try to give a taste and a few quid to all of the breweries. So as a salesman for our company, I will go out to, getting our beer into new shops. I'll go into those shops and I'll say, listen, every few weeks when I'm dropping off your beer, I'll come in and spend, however much money, so that we can all have a taste of all these other breweries, and we get together and taste all these other breweries' beer and say, like this, don't like that, like the other. and it helps to enthuse us and come up with new ideas for products for our range too. So, but as I say, dippers and tippers, and the Neepers, kind of like my favorite beers. I know James is the same. So like on a Friday is when I'll be drinking that. On a Wednesday, I do another podcast. You can probably guess what it's about. On a Wednesday night, I do that, and we'll drink, one or two dippers, probably a Neeper or a tipper.
What breweries have stood out to you recently with any dippers or tippers that you've enjoyed, Paddy?
So I would probably say that my favourite dippers have come from Cloudwater,
Tracker on killing it at the minute, aren't they?
They really are.
Yeah.
Squawk, I quite enjoy too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else.
Well, I was going to say I've been enjoying a lot of the garage beers that we've been trying.
Oh,
from Barcelona.
Yeah. How can I forget that?
Yeah, so they're the kings of strong beer for me, and I think for me one of my favourite breweries. If you see any track beers around, guys, they don't often end up in UK stores. But if you're in an independent, if you're in if you see a garage beer in an independent bottle shop, pick it up and give it a try, because they are superb.
They're actually, we would probably go so far as to say that garage are across the board probably Donkeystone's favourite brewery.
Yeah, for me, them, Cloudwater, who were lovely people, by the way, as well as Track. All great guys, and make superb, interesting, fresh, fantastic beers. So if you're looking for a recommendation, I would say those. If you like the sour beer that you tried earlier, give Vault City a try, who also make incredible beers. And I think both Cloudwater and Vault City are going into Tesco stores on Monday. So that's really interesting for our industry. And if you see the beers and you're interested in trying it, please pick it up and give it a try.
Certainly. As we said as well, that just as an outside thing, it wasn't a dipper or a tipper or whatever, but when we were at the Milliner, we had a little taste of some Seven Brothers, and I had a little taste of a
Tiny Rebel
on keg.
A classic.
What is it?
Club Tropicana.
We can't call it that anymore.
Yeah. So
they got sued by George Michael, or certainly the estate of George Michael. I was going to say the corpse of George Michael. That's not quite right.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's called
Club Tropica.
Club Tropica.
Yeah, so it's a really fruity session IPA. You may well have come across it before. Lovely. It's in every supermarket.
Tiny Rebel are in a supermarket, yeah.
Yeah, they're massive Welsh brewery.
Yeah.
And it's a little banger, so give it a try.
Kyle, guys.
That's Beavertown.
Yeah, Beavertown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get back over to the comments. Steve, best so far, lots of flavours.
Cheers, Steve.
Nice one. I can see you becoming a dipper and a tipper boy, just like us. Over to Steve Webon. These craft beers are so far removed from the usual bitters. Wasn't a fan of the idea of craft beers, but you've certainly opened my eyes. Yes! One of us. One of us.
We've got a converted member of the parish. Yeah.
Here we go. I was never into garage, but gave them a place to try.
Very good. Yes, very good. Very good.
This is how you drink garage beer, really.
Yeah. I don't think that's garage. But, yeah.
Well, I don't know. How's it go, garage?
I don't know. I think it's like
is it one of the ones like
no, it's like that's dubstep.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't worry about that.
I am the granddad. Is it the one where somebody sounds like they've got their mobile phone next to the PA?
A little bit. Yeah, no, it's a little bit like UK hip hop kind of vibe. But
don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, here we go. Ian, Great British Brew Off beckons.
It's a good idea. Why don't they do it on the BBC? That would
be brilliant.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea.
I'm just bear with me a second, Ian. I'm just going away onto my laptop to copyright that idea. It's a great idea, Ian. It certainly is. You heard it here first. We're copyrighting it already. It's too late. Steve, lol. Lol.
Well, I'm glad you're all having fun, and I'm glad you're all enjoying the beers.
Because you're getting merry now. That's
We're certainly in that kind of ballpark of stronger beers. So the next one is not drink with caution, but it's a sipper. It's one that you're gonna not a sipper as in a session IPA. It's going to be one that you will sip gently.
yes, a Tarippa is certainly a sipper.
Yeah. So if we
Sorry, I've got. You probably noticed I've got a kind of mental tick where I just turn into Alan Partridge every now and again. Sometimes I turn into Billy Connolly too, but
it's a disease.
that's not happened tonight. Yeah, they call it Partridgeitis.
So let's finish our little bit of tip. The dipper.
What beer is it?
Equinox dipper.
That's the one.
And then let's move on to our triple American red IPA, which is really interesting.
It is, and also if you're interested in these things, our Cal does all these designs. So all of these designs are done in house. Every single can.
Yeah, we're very very lucky to have Cal. He's a fantastic designer.
You've seen tonight does all of our design work.
Mm-hmm.
And, very fine it is too.
It is indeed. Could you pass me the Tarippa can, please, Paddy? Yeah.
And this was for celebrating the celebration of our 300th brew, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we spoke about the 250th brew earlier on, because the DPA we brought out a 250th kind of celebratory version of that beer, but the Tarippa was our 300th, and it looks a little bit intimidating. Don't be scared. It's really nice. So basically, this beer, a red IPA, again, was a new style for us.
Originating with Daripper.
Yeah, so we brought out a double American red IPA, and the way that you create a red beer would be to use kind of malt that has got some of that red colour in there, and the Daripper is bright red. The Tarippa, because of the hop content, and the nature of the beer, it's an unfined beer, like the last one, vegan. This one is also vegan.
Absolutely.
So they're not clear beers. They're really kind of murky and fruit, full of all the proteins that you isinglass findings remove from the beer. And you will notice with this beer that it's not quite red anymore. It's gone kind of like rich malty brown colour. But we call it a Tarippa anyway. So it's a triple American red IPA. As a very special beer for us, we used a Belgian Saison yeast, which adds like a really funky kind of orange peel, almost coriander flavour that you would necessarily put with Belgian style beers. If you ever drank any of the Belgian stuff in the supermarket or the Weiss beers that you can get, basically some of those beers encompass this kind of flavour that is really reminiscent of Belgian style, and we wanted to use that in this beer, with it being a stronger beer, to have a different flavour dimension to our other beers. It's the only beer in our range that has used this Saison yeast, which is really exciting, and it adds a different dimension to the flavour. So let's pour that out. You can see it's definitely got a red tinge to it. I'll just pour some for you, Paddy.
Thank you very much.
11%. It's verging on a barley wine, this beer. There's no doubt about it.
As we said as well.
Holding it up, it's very dark. In this room, it looks almost like a stout. But actually, if I just
get the lights under it.
You can see.
Well, you can see that rich red.
There's a bit of a rich red colour, yeah, like my face from sunburn.
It has to be said, our very own Mike Sweeney of BBC Radio Manchester said, what did he say?
Heaven in a glass.
Yeah, he said if heaven was a smell, then you've invented it.
Yeah,
I think he went on to say heaven in a glass.
Yeah,
this was his favourite.
Yeah. Mike was into the really strong beers. That's his kind of thing.
Yeah, this one and the
he loved the
tipper.
The tipper, didn't he?
This and the tipper, he was a big fan of.
So on the nose, you should be getting kind of an orange peel, candied orange,
Get like molasses.
Definitely molasses. You're getting cinder toffee. You're getting
Cinder toffee.
treacle toffee. You're getting.
He also said Christmas in a glass.
Christmas in a glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you are getting some of those really rich flavours that you associate with Christmas pudding. Or
Well, our MD Steve did say that you know that it was almost part of the creation of this beer. It was like Steve was like, you know, I want to be sipping this on Christmas Day at the you know,
so
during Christmas dinner.
when we speak about seasonal beers, this was a release that we brought out around Christmas time. It made sense then. It's not one you'd probably be drinking in your garden in the height of summer, but it's one that you might enjoy of an evening in front of a.
Certainly one that you want to get through the entire range of our beers and finish with this.
This is a finisher. We're not finishing with this. We've got one more, but we're coming into a stout next, so it's a little bit more robust, a little bit darker.
I'm ready for that.
Yeah, but you know, it's definitely an interesting, complex beer, and it's a little bit more challenging, but it's really delicious. We've got loads of comments.
Oh, goodness me. Let's go back to the comments. Okay. Joe, I'm happy that Papa John's is 50% off right now. Going to need some stodge to call this up. Well,
that's what we had
very
before.
wise,
We
Joe.
stodged up before this with pizza. So
I'm a big fan of Papa John's. But we actually went homeschool, didn't we?
yeah,
We had
Pizza Express.
Pizza Express from Tesco that we cooked ourselves, and we all had 3 different kinds with a bit of chicken.
Delish.
So we're just about finding room for the beer at the moment.
Yeah,
We've got quite a decent pizza lining. The 300 can looks really heavy metal. Much approval is given.
Yeah, so Carl, again, you know, with the design, brilliant bit of artwork. You know, it's scares children, which is kind of what it's meant to do.
Chinese on roots, yes.
Good work, Joe. I hope your house move was completed today, by the way, Joe. That was what you told me was happening, so hopefully that's happened.
Crikey. That's
Let us know. Let us know in the comments.
Good call, Joe. Absolutely.
Yeah, good idea.
Get that monosodium glutamate in there. That's always the way.
Love the design. Yeah, no, I think, Carl's done a great job.
Absolutely.
Nice. Thank you.
He doesn't just smell strong, Steve.
Tastes strong as well.
Doesn't just smell strong, my friend. Okay, it smells delicious and tastes way better than I thought it would.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's a good thing. I think that is the thing with craft beer altogether. It's like you don't know, like you're going off an artwork or whatever.
Well, it can be intimidating, can't it? Walking into a shop and looking at a wall of just random beers, and if you don't know the hops, you don't know the styles. You would be forgiven for being a little bit out of your depth. But I guess you know, it's all about trying new things, and this is definitely a beer style you won't come across very often, and it's one that's kind of unique to us. I don't know if anyone does triple American red IPAs in the world.
I think it's a Donkey original.
But yeah, it's definitely smoky and got loads of interesting flavour in there.
Absolutely. That's the comment. Sandy says I played a gig with Sweeney once a charity night. Cool.
Oh, good stuff.
So what were you doing, Andy? Are you DJ or a musician? I'd be interested to know about that. Joe, to be honest, I was scared.
Don't fear.
Yeah.
There's nothing to fear here.
Don't fear the Reaper.
Yeah, the Terepa.
Don't fear the Terepa. More cowbell. Bonfire night in a glass.
Yes, Brie.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the molasses coming through, right? Yeah. Reckon we could get away with this one looking like a glass of Coke in a Teams meeting.
100%.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, look at that's kind of the idea.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Coke Zero.
Yeah, just what I would suggest is just take a I don't know if it's a thing anymore because everything's so computerized.
Yeah.
If you were to take a what do they call stuff that you would paint your mistakes out with on a page?
Oh, like an eraser, like a Tipex.
Tipex.
Yeah.
Right. So think of Tipex.
Tipex and Coca-Cola sign on the side.
So Tipex and Coca-Cola sign aside in that black area.
Yeah.
Take a red biro and just like it's white. Yeah. Just Tipex the swirl on there.
I'm certain one Manchester doesn't condone drinking during team meetings.
No, we don't.
And neither does Donkeystone, so please don't do that.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I did it in our last team meeting, but you know, it's kind of expected from me. Almost a little raisin and plum.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. The raisin is that kind of dried, you know, really intense fruit flavour, and the plum is a rich kind of fruitiness. Yeah.
And he's back onto set.
Caroline's got a brilliant palate.
She has a very, very good palate. You can come and join us for beer tasting anytime, Carolina. It's a really good beer. I was worried, but it's fantastic, really deep and full on.
Glad you're enjoying, Andy.
100%. Steve is just backing up Carolina's assessment here. Tasting raisin like Christmas pudding, but also smoky again.
Yeah,
See,
really
perfect,
nice, complex
perfect,
flavour.
Perfect.
This is a friend of the brewery.
Hey, Steve.
Steve Crompton.
Hi, Paddy James. First try to Ripper last week on
Social
the
Sesh.
Social Sesh. Lovely stuff. Definitely will be ordering.
Thanks,
Good luck.
Steve.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Andy, I played bass in a band that went on before Sweeney. Ooh, the glamour. Anyway, back to the thing. You're a bass player. So there you go.
Wonderful. We hope
they're a breed apart, like bass players. So cheers to you, Andy.
Cheers. I'm definitely going to give you guys a couple of minutes to finish this one. We don't really want you.
Yeah, it's not a speedy drink.
Necking it. But I'd be intrigued to know whether the yeast we've used is different to all the yeast in the other beers, and whether or not that stands out to you, whether or not that is apparent when you taste it, when you smell it,
Yes,
whether you get that orange peel, and if you have drank Belgian beer before, whether or not you recognise some of those flavour profiles in this beer, because I certainly do. Yeah.
High mark if you do. I'd certainly taste it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's very different for a tipper, which is a triple IPA.
By the way, when cool.
I was going to say, you know, it's comprising so many different elements in terms of the malt, that it's definitely unique.
Absolutely. So, what do you think of my 80s serial killer glasses?
They creep me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that movie with the little girl? And it's I don't know.
Not American Psycho.
No. She's kind of dead. And there's a psychopath next door.
Oh,
he's the killer. Yeah, you look like that guy.
Can any of us give me a clue? Am I looking like David Tennant?
He won an Oscar about 8 years ago or something. Elephant Stone or...
Oh, I've not seen that.
Yeah.
About not obviously a slave, but David Tennant had similar glasses on in that...
the
ITV
thing.
Murder thing. Yeah. Well, actually, just to explain, I don't actually need glasses. These are blue...
For computer...
Yeah, for computer thingy. And they just arrived today. Obviously, I can't try them on beforehand. And they turned up and basically...
He thinks he's trendy. He's like the new Kanye West.
I'm not... Well, my partner Gina said that they look like...
Some fantastic comments. Can we go to the comments?
Yeah, we will go to the comments. She said that I look like Deirdre Barlow in them. So she's actually phoning me right now. What she doesn't realise is that I'm doing a live tasting. So
we're live, Gina.
I'm just going to let her know.
I'll go to the comments.
I'll be back in a minute. You go to the comments.
I'll ask you. Bree firstly says Brian Potter vibes. Which,
whoa! Sweet child of mine.
Yeah, that is superb. A superb observation. And I'm going to change your name on my phone book to Brian Potter. Andy Brian. Andy K says
Brian Psychic wants to know what time he's on. Well, if he's any god, he'll know.
Andy K said, "What is your favourite Star Wars, Paddy?"
Oh, easy, mate. Easy. The Empire Strikes Back.
I was going to say the one with Captain Kirk.
Pack it in, you.
We've had a comment from Joe. I've spent quite a few weekends in Bruges tasting the beer. If I only remember them. Well, it's difficult in Bruges because, you know, the beer culture over in Belgium is so different. You know, 11% beer here is a strong beer. In Bruges, that's like a shandy. You know, they're all going in hard on the beers. And I guess they have much smaller portions. No one's necking pints in Bruges. It's 2/3.
Bruges.
A third.
In Bruges.
One of my favourites.
Happens to be one of James's favourite films.
One of my favourite, and it's one of my favourite cities as well. Beautiful.
I was able to source for him a beautiful
movie poster,
original movie poster of Bruges, which is going to be on the floor.
It's going to be adorning
on the wall.
Yeah.
On the floor.
Yeah, it's on the floor currently.
It's on the floor currently in a tube.
Steve.
Andy, definitely Empire, 100%, mate. So if you are a Star Wars fan, I'm going to do a plug here right now. So if you would like to check out a weekly Star Wars podcast where we discuss all things Star Wars, you can check out www.clubstarwars.com, and we're on at 7 p.m. every Wednesday night.
It's really good. I do enjoy it. I was only playing about the confusion about Star Wars. I think that Paddy's a great advocate of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And we don't just have other fans on. We kind of, we have actors from
great guests,
actors from the mostly the OT, the original trilogy. So it's always a good laugh. Here we go.
There's the Bruce comment is interesting. The Terripa is almost a fine line between an IPA and a quad. It's good stuff. I'm really glad you're enjoying it, Carolina, because you seem to really know your beer. So
Absolutely.
The fact that you are enjoying it is great. Steve Flynn should have gone Specsavers, Paddy.
I want to know. I'm trying to remember what the website's called. What I got them from. If I can look it up, I'll let you know.
Oldmanspecs.com.
You can avoid them. No, it's so. Do you know what? I got these just for the computer stuff, and then I got another set for like going out, and they were like reactor light with the blue, so they would go blue when you go out in the sun. And I tried them on, but they were like really, really small. And so this is the only problem ordering glasses online, isn't it? That you can't tell how big they are when they're on your face. So Just Miss saying I spent quite a few weekends in Bruges tasting the beer. If only I could remember them.
You've done that comment already.
Yeah, well there you go. I know I was kind of reading the other stuff as well.
Andy's going to go and have a look at Star Wars.
Bree likes them.
Oh, Bree, yeah, great.
Good stuff. Thank you, Andy.
Bree, we're taking the mick out of Paddy, actually.
Yeah, that basically takes you directly to our YouTube link. So if you feel like you want to subscribe there, and of course, over that, if you would like to subscribe to the Donkeystone YouTube channel, then we will alert you when new stuff comes on.
Andy's got another great comment as well. Timmy Mallet. Yeah, you don't see Timmy Mallet anymore.
I'm glad I put these up. Do you know what? Do you know what's going on with Timmy Mallet?
No. He's doing a podcast with me right now.
Yeah.
What is going on with Timmy Mallet?
Mallet's Mallet. So, no, it was brilliant during lockdown. So Timmy Mallet started doing art.
Has he?
So he's doing paint. And, I mean, I'm sure he still does appearances at these during normal times, at these daft like events where you have like people like Pat Sharpton and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he does that kind of thing. But he does painting stuff. So go onto Facebook and subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to his page. And he goes live at some point, and then you just see him painting stuff, and he's like chatting to you, and and I just left a comment going like, I used to love watching the 80s Mallet's Mallet and all that, and he said something, he made a reference to it.
Brilliant.
So he seems like a great guy.
Yeah, and that's where you bought the glasses from.
That's why I bought the glasses, because I was always a big
super fan.
I also thought as well it might be quite good for.
All right, I think we're coming to the end of our waffle here, because we need to finish these Terripas and move on to the next beer, which is a really apt beer to finish. Like you'd finish any meal with a coffee, or any night out with an espresso martini.
You've done this before,
I have. Okay, Terripa.
Beautiful.
Terripa done.
Go to me.
Yeah, definitely sank a few beers so far. So,
shall I
go into your full?
Shall I pretend I look cool instead?
Top gun.
I'm going to join you, Tim. Let's go cool instead.
Yeah, cool. Good one.
Cool. He says with his Star Wars t-shirt on.
Get the next beer for us, please, Paddy.
Yeah. So, if you're from Salford, it's called Jar Vanilla.
Or if you're from anywhere else, it's called Jar Vanilla.
Correct.
Which is a coffee vanilla stout.
Are you going to do well? Are we going to advise them first?
Yeah. So something to bear in mind on this beer. It's one of our kind of more kind of cask beers that we would sell mainly in a cask.
Should we do the Paddy method?
So I think, Paddy, if you just give it a little shake. Yeah. That's it. You don't need any more than that.
That's all he needs.
You need to basically kind of just give it a little one of those, and it just all it does is it just keeps the beer nice and frothy. Because what we want with this beer is a really luxurious velvety head on the beer.
Before we continue, very important point from Steve. Just downloaded your app, and great news, I'm your local delivery. Yes!
Superb, Steve. Well done, mate.
So, Steve, how it works, and folks, just to expand on the local delivery thing. Is it 15 miles?
15 miles.
15-mile radius from our property in Greenfield.
Yeah.
You'll get free delivery over £20.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, we will put it in a stunning Donkeystone box for you and post it out by our good friends at APC.
Yeah, that's right. So you can get it nationwide. All our cans and merch, whatever you're interested in. Javanilla.
Javanilla.
What you're looking at there is a stout. It's been named the espresso martini of craft beer.
It has.
And it's one of our kind of real crowd pleasers. We tend to get lovely comments about this beer. It actually finished 3rd in the Brewers Challenge at the Manchester Beer Festival in our first year of brewing, which was very exciting.
We got 2 barrels of it today.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, so the Royal Oak in Upper Thong.
Royal Oak in Upper Thong. Now,
which is Holmfirth.
If you've ever been Upper Thong, lads.
It's a great little pub, actually.
It's just a fantastic name for an area.
Yeah, it is.
I wish I could live in a place called Upper Thong.
Yorkshire. That's what happens over there.
It is. So yeah, the Royal Oak and Upper Thong, very, very popular there.
Give it a sniff. You know, you should be getting those coffee flavors. The way we flavor this beer, we brew the stout.
Chocolate.
And then in the cask, we will chuck pasteurized coffee beans, whole coffee beans, and fresh vanilla pods. So every cask of beer is filled, it rattles. So we've got coffee and vanilla directly in the cask to flavour it. The same process for the canning. We'll basically flavour the beer in a big IBC with coffee and vanilla, and then can it. As you can see, you know, nice velvety head. If you give it a little shake.
Also, as a bonus, IBC sounds like a TV channel.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. It's just a big container.
It is,
but. You're looking at a robust malty beer that's got lovely, rich coffee flavour, and you get some chocolatey, you get caramel, you get a smokiness.
In fact, I've just realised IBC was a TV channel.
Was it?
But fictionally.
What was that on?
So have you ever watched it's one of the Christmas films that I have to watch every Christmas, Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Oh yeah, of course.
The TV channel that he is the head of is
IBC. There you go.
That's why it always seems so familiar to me. I've just realised it right now, this very second.
Let's hit the comments.
So I think we've had a dramatic turnaround with the glasses situation.
Yeah, we've gone from
I'm looking like
Timmy Mallet to Goose.
Timmy Mallet to Goose. That's a dramatic delivery.
That's the name of our next beer.
Just go.
Timmy Mallet to Goose.
Timmy Mallet to Goose. I love it. Here we go. Breezing espresso in a gin.
Or a tin. Yeah.
Sorry, it would make a good espresso in a gin. It would make a good espresso in a tin.
That's what she means.
Star. Yeah. You can certainly smell the coffee.
It's a very overpowering scent, which is not a bad thing.
Boom. You've just nailed it to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's velvety, it's rich, it's creamy, it's delicious.
Stevie W, you hit the nail on the head there. Absolutely, mate. 100%.
It certainly is, Stuart. Yeah. So a local brownie company has basically bought a load off us to create jar vanilla coffee brownies.
Is that?
Yeah, that's happening. So
is that who you think it is?
Yes.
Fantastic.
It is.
Lovely.
So yeah, it's definitely decadent, rich. I think if I'm going to be critical of our own beer for a second, I would like it to have a little bit more body. When we pull it through a hand pull on a cask, when you literally the pressure of pulling it through and those little micro bubbles make it a little bit thicker. In a can, it's difficult to replicate that. I think one way around it would be to infuse it with nitrogen rather than carbon dioxide. CO2 makes bigger bubbles and nitrogen makes creamier, smaller bubbles. but we haven't got the facility to nitro infuse our beer.
No.
If anyone has tried the Brewdog Evil Twin collaboration, Roaster Coaster from Tesco, that is a nitro infused beer, and it really feels thicker, a bit more viscous.
So in the process, again, it's investment and
For the future.
extra equipment for the future. So something we'll look to. It's all so expensive.
Very expensive. Everything's expensive.
In the brewing game, everything is super, super expensive. So
Mhm.
we're always looking to improve and working towards the next toy.
No,
The next
absolutely.
toy, yeah, absolutely. So here we go, Andy. The one I was most looking forward to, and I'm not disappointed. Brilliant, fantastic news.
Great feedback. Thank you, mate.
Excellent. Pleasantly surprised by this one. I'm not a stout or vanilla lover, but I'm getting the chocolate flavour. Yummy.
Great, Joe.
Fantastic.
Pleased you're enjoying it.
I've tried a lot of coffee beers, and Shindig do one, but this is one nice.
Yeah.
Easy to
So the
do.
Shindigger one is
Shindig is
yeah. So Shindigger, they're lovely guys as well. Their
they are great.
coffee beer
Yeah.
is a black IPA.
Ah.
So we have a black IPA in our range, but it's
We
not
do.
coffee based. Ours is a fruity black IPA. So it's
Yes.
it's based on one of our other main kind of core beers, which is called Kai. We did a really strong version called Triple X.
Kai,
Kai-
which is Maori for donkey.
It is, yeah. So Kai Triple X is our black IPA, similar to Shindigger's coffee black IPA.
Back to Timmy Mallet.
Yeah, back to Timmy Mallet. I'm really glad that you're enjoying it, guys. It's definitely a good one to finish on.
It's
for
hard
us.
to believe that we've spent 1 hour 40 minutes together. I hope it's gone fast for you. For some of you, I'm sure it's gone slowly. But probably most of the time when I'm talking rather than when James is talking. Because he comes out with useless information and I just kind of punctuate it with garbage, really.
I'm hoping everyone's takeaway has arrived and you are tucking into that right now.
Ooh,
It's probably not, the best beer to have with the takeaway.
No.
That might be more of the pills kind of thing. But, I'm glad that we've finished on this because I think it's definitely one of our most consistent beers. If you see it anywhere on cask, and there are numerous places around Manchester and parts of the northwest and further afield that sell this beer on cask, if you see it, try it on cask and let us know how you like it because it's superb on cask.
100%. Let's go back to the comments. Bree, thank you. Would definitely like to come and visit the brewery one day. Do you do tours?
We do.
During normal periods of time, we certainly do tours.
Yeah. It was one of the last things we did before the first lockdown, the day that they announced that the pubs were shutting and we were going into some kind of lockdown. We did a brewery tour and literally an announcement was made during the tour. So we had to kind of like usher the guys out of the building. But yeah, we love doing brewery tours. We love doing the tasting session afterwards. We do this kind of live and you can ask questions and have a look at the kit, and we'll definitely be introducing that to our new facility.
Yeah. Steve, any plans for your own bar? It's definitely in the business plan. I mean, our hopes is that when we did used to have a tap room in the current brewery, but as we expanded production during the second lockdown, we had to rip that out to make room for tanks and such like. So our hope is once we move to the new premises that we can create a bar. It's not in the first part of our plan for the brewery. The main thing is to get the brewery going, but we'd certainly like to do that. In terms of independent bars,
In the future,
we'd love to do pop-ups or permanent Donkeystone bars all over the place, and hats off to Brewdog who made that kind of thing work. If we could have even 1/8 of the success in terms of pushing out into their own establishments and stuff as Brewdogs have, then
we'd be chuffed.
We'd be super chuffed.
Well, yeah, I guess definitely in the business plan is our own tap room, and then we'll go from there. We're very ambitious. We want to continue to grow. we feel like we put the trend a little bit in lockdown by continuing to progress and to
100%.
grow. So we're really pleased. But with people like yourself supporting us and trying our beers and hopefully becoming new fans, yeah, we can only go one way.
Exactly. The only way is up. Am I actually singing?
Yeah,
Yes.
don't sing. You've had too
How
many
did I do
trippers.
that?
Next comment, please.
Let's go back.
Yeah.
Speaking of Terrific, I don't want to go all Sweeney, but the 300 is a 300's kick-ass beer.
Andy, go all Sweeney, mate. We're glad that you're enjoying it. That's fantastic.
100%.
Yeah.
So I've been to your brew tap once. I look forward to seeing your new mezzanine.
It's very exciting, Joe. We're pleased that and
we'd like all of you to do this.
Yeah.
To do this for us.
Keep
And
your eyes on our social media.
Keep your eyes peeled, because there will be ways in which you can support us.
Yeah.
And that's what we need, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
To move forward with this next stage is support for as many people who love what we do as is possible. So if you love what we do, we appreciate it. Thank you very much, and get behind us. Yours sincerely, Deirdre Barlow.
As a comment from Steve, Wellborn.
Yes. Big shout out to Josie for organising this.
Yeah, cheers, Joe. Thank you. It's been a pleasure dealing with Jo. She's lovely, and we've enjoyed putting this together for you guys.
Also, thanks to our friends Pip and Mark, who put us in contact with Jo and
Absolutely,
made this a reality.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you very much for that. Yeah, thanks. Yes, thanks, Jo, and thank you, Paddy and James.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Very welcome indeed. Most absolute pleasure. Enjoyed this very much. Hopefully, getting a visit in soon and getting orders in online in
Brilliant
the interim.
news.
Good
Thanks,
lad.
Andy.
Nice one, mate. Here we go. On the car, Audi R8 V10 was won by my stepson for £7.
Wow.
Holy shit. That's incredible. Well, as soon as he's finished with it, you can,
Lend it to us.
I'll quite happily take possession of that.
We need to do the competition.
My Mercedes is falling apart.
Guys.
Yeah, we are going to do the competition. Let's finish off the comments while you prepare competition. Cheers, guys. Good luck for the future. Cheers, Steve.
Thank you.
Carolina, my favourite beer is Tipper. Good girl. That's my favourite beer as well. What about yours?
Tonight, I would say my favourite is probably the Tipper.
She's gone outside of tonight's beer. She's gone Tipper.
Ooh.
So fair play to her. Thanks for the tour. You're most welcome. Hopefully see more of your beers in Ancoats and Nolan Quarter.
Hopefully so. Yeah, definitely.
We're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
We are working on it. Manchester's a tough nut to crack. It can be. So, now then, were you paying attention? Here, let's just go over to this. Oh. Yeah. I thought we'd done like a little...
competition sting.
Yeah, what was the competition? No, because it was like...
I'm going to answer a question.
It was
Q&A.
It was like Q&A, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you've got that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Hope you're all watching the brewery tour attentively. I'd like you to tell me, and it's the fastest finger first. So the first person who answers the question will win a Donkeystone t-shirt. We'll just confirm sizes, colours, whatever you want.
And a signed 10x8 from James and Paddy.
Yeah, we can arrange
It's
a
literally
signed
worth nothing.
autograph that will be worth nothing in the future and probably depreciate in value.
But the image and pen choice will be stunning. Anyway, go on.
Okay, so what beer was Tom drinking in the brewery tour? Okay, fastest finger first. Who was watching?
First of all, we got some praise from Joe. Thank you very much.
We'll take that. Thank you, Joe.
What beer
was Tom drinking?
drinking
A little clue.
during the brewery
It
tour?
was one of the beers you've drank this evening.
It was.
What beer? Oh, Ian Corrigan. Oh, no, Andy. Oh, hang on.
Oh, hang on.
Everyone
wait.
answered at the same time.
It did, but who's first in the queue?
Steve, you won a £7 Audi and now a t-shirt from Donkeystone Brewery. I mean, what's a better prize? An Audi or...
Lucky bastard.
What would you rather have, the Audi or the t-shirt?
Oh, certainly the t-shirt.
Excellent. Well,
Do you know,
I mean... Can we go through the ones who've got it all right?
We will.
Yeah.
But Steve, you remind me of my mum's old boss. His surname was Lowe. They used to call him Lucky Lowe. Absolutely loaded. Won everything.
Okay.
Won everything.
Did he win
won
everything?
The car.
Yeah.
Won the T-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Won the cash prizes.
Is he a lottery winner? That's what we need to know.
I hope not. I really hope not.
So we have some right answers.
So Steve, Bree was in with the correct answer.
Close second.
Steve was in with the correct answer. Andy was in with the correct answer. Andy K was in the correct answer. Ian C was in the correct answer. Liv, oh, that's the first time we've heard from you, Liv. Hello.
VAR. That's excellent. Yeah, we can't. Sadly, it does come in like order of time. So basically, sadly, it was Steve that arrived first. So yeah, Steve's chuffed to bits with that. That's fantastic. VAR.
XXL.
2XL.
Please.
Yeah, no worries, mate. We'll sort you out with the T-shirt.
We've got you covered.
Luckily for us, we've got your address, we've got your phone number, so we can either stalk you or send you a T-shirt.
He said we've got you. Luckily, we've got you address.
We've got your details
already.
No, we
didn't get you address.
No.
We got you a T-shirt.
Well, you could have a dress if you wanted,
Well,
Steve.
yeah. We've not done Donkeystone dresses yet.
No, but we'll send you over your 2XL T-shirt.
We certainly will.
To wear proudly driving your Audi.
And Steve, we might slip a bit of something else extra in there.
Yeah, we'll sort you out. Guys, thank you very, very much for tonight. We've really enjoyed it. We've had a laugh. Hope you have too. Big thanks to Joe. You guys at One Manchester have really chuffed us to bits with how you have interacted, asked us questions and participated. It's always better when you guys get involved and ask us questions. So we really enjoy it. So yeah, thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, guys. And I hope we can do it again in the not too distant future. Thank you very much, Bree and
Andy K.
Andy K said, no, we didn't get him a dress.
You never know.
It was a joke, mate.
You never know.
It was a joke.
We can get him a dress.
Loved it. Cheers, Steve.
Cheers, Steve.
All the best, guys. We will see you very, very soon. Don't forget to jump onto the Donkeystone social media outlets. Like us, give us a follow, give us some comments.
Download the app.
Jump on there, get on our website, check things out, and look for ways in which you can support us in the future.
Yeah.
In the meantime, it's craft on out, guys. Drink up and have a great summer. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys.